Hello, welcome to day 4 of our little extravaganza, and today I'm focusing on sampled orchestration and orchestral programming. And one of the bits which often gets overlooked, but it is really vital to get your sound right, is the end of the note. And I'm going to be looking at some string samples and looking at the release, because this is a much overlooked aspect of orchestral programming, which can make a huge difference. If we, for example, I'll give you an extreme example. So if we go to, I've got a number of things loaded up here. Look, I've got Spitfire chamber strings. All these are ensemble patches just because it makes it easier to show you. I've got Cinematic Studio solo strings. I've got Spitfire symphonic strings, the big version, and I've got Adagietto. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is this. If you, the extreme example being here, if we take Spitfire symphonic strings, this one down here, and you just play a chord and you just let it off, if the release is turned right down, see this button here is called release, it cuts off in a very unnatural sort of sounding way. And if you're trying to join chords together, it sounds weird. Okay, so we want to turn the vibrato down a bit because that's a bit weird. That's better. Now you want to get the release, and if you're getting that effect where you go, you hear one cutting off almost before the next one, you want a natural sounding release, and that means just turning that release up. Whoa, don't do that, guy. Okay, there you go, turn it up a bit. If you turn it up too much, it goes all too blurry and they go from one to another, and before you know it, you're sort of like wallowing in some kind of chocolate soup of sample orchestration. So you need to be quite specific, and sometimes it's very difficult to get right. So if we look at the Cinematic Studio solo strings, which is a great library, and it comes with an ensemble patch, solo string ensemble patch. Let's turn the vibrato down a bit if I can find it. Where's vibrato on this one? Okay, don't worry about that for the moment. Let's look. If we turn this off completely, there's no release. Completely unrealistic. Whereas that lasts, that'll keep going for a long weekend. So you're trying to find the sweet spot about there. Sometimes you won't have, the sweet spot is very difficult to find, and if it's very difficult to find, your next port of call is to add some reverb. So if we completely artificially turn off the release on this symphonic string sample, and this is particularly true if it's quite close mic'd. So if we just go to the mic positions, and I just turn up the close mic and turn down the tree, but even that sounds all right, actually. Spitfire have done a lot of work on this, because when they first started doing this sampling, they found that the players, really, really good session players, naturally had this microscopic diminuendo at the end of the note, and that was very hard to replicate. So it took them a while before they. But the thing you hats off to Spitfire, they always persevere until they get it right, and they've definitely got this right. If you are having this problem, there's two other ways of doing this. Here we go. So look, there's the symphonic strings. It's got quite a lot of the close mic in there. If we go back to the where it was before and turn the release right down, yeah. So this is artificially abrupt. But the way to make that work, if you wanted to, is simply to add, if you add some reverb to it, even that quite abrupt, it just diminues off. And the reason, the Spitfire have done a lot of work on this, and they are in their early sampling sessions, they found that professional players would naturally diminuendo in a way, but over a very short space of time, which made it incredibly difficult to sample. But they've really worked at it, and now it sounds absolutely brilliant. But if you have that problem, reverb is one solution. Another solution is this. If we play a chord in, let's. Okay, you can layer your chords, particularly with dynamic instruments, where there's actually a sort of a natural swell or whatever, a crescendo or whatever. This is a Adagietto from 8DO. I really like it, and it does this. Now, if you took that and you layered that over the end of that chord there, you will get something which sounds. And these are two different libraries. So this works better actually if I go make it longer. Let me just make it a bit longer. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's all going horribly wrong. I'm playing on the wrong track. Okay. And then you need to match them up. Matching them up is quite hard work, but here we go. So. These are two different string libraries, played in different players, different parts of the world, but even without much tweaking, it doesn't sound that bad, and it definitely gives you a more satisfying end to the note. So, what I'm saying is, if your string lines, and particularly if you're using ensemble patches, starts to sound a bit disjointed and blocky, and I heard this, actually an example of this on a really big television drama the other day. And I thought, oh, anyway, you first port of call is you look at the actual sample itself and try and adjust the release time. Next port of call is you add some reverb, and the third port of call is you add a layer, which is a second sample, which gives you that nice tail, so it sounds more natural. Hope you found that useful. If you did, then obviously, and you're not a regular here, nice to see you. Why don't you join us and subscribe? And if you want to join our sort of giveaway Bonanza week, where we're going to be doing a complete week of sort of free course materials, free courses given away every day, all the rest of it, all you have to do is pop your email address in the box underneath this video. Hope you find that useful, and I'll be back with yet another one tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.